It's been 1 week since I've had the Gamesir G8 Galileo, and my opinion of this thing changed drastically. Look, full disclosure, even before I bought this, because I'm too small of a channel, nobody sends me free stuff. Companies, make note of this, send me free stuff. Even before I bought it, I was pretty much sure that I would hate this controller. But oh boy, was that preconception so wrong, I can't even begin to tell you in a 10-minute clip. Look, I don't want to overhype this thing. I want to at the very least maintain the illusion of objectivity. But this controller is my new god, okay? Any other controllers that I previously had, this controller made fools out of all of them, replaced them, and now this controller is sitting on the throne, deciding which nerds go to heaven or not. This should be your new god. This should be my new god. This should be on top of churches, sitting on a freaking pedestal. It's big, and touching it makes me feel things that I've never felt in the last 15 years. This controller feels soft to the touch, and yet so sturdy and powerful. It's gentle, but stern. It makes me feel excited each and every time I realize I have the opportunity of letting it go deep inside my phone's USB-C port. Honestly, not to sound cheesy, but I never thought that I would ever find a controller that feels so good in the hand. Before getting it, I would have thought that its big form factor would have been something that really pisses me off, but it really doesn't, because it's all ergonomics. It's literally all comfort. After you spread your hands and your hands naturally mold into this controller, you realize that the one part that is not exposed is the screen. And you would never want this part to be covered, no matter the console or handheld that you decide to play with. But let me cool down and let's start doing a quick unboxing of the Gamesir G8 Galileo. This thing is packaged quite nicely, and it has a few things that surprised me. Not a lot of controllers come with replacement triggers of different sizes, and this plays wonderfully into people that are nostalgic for the GameCube, because this one little knob right here, this is the exact knob that GameCube people had on their controller. The presentation of the box is quite nice. The first thing that you see is the controller and these 3 replacement knobs, and I appreciate that Gamesir put little protectors around the thumbsticks so that they are protected during travel. In fact, I would highly advise that you keep those thumbstick protectors for when you travel, because you never know when you just want to shove this thing in a backpack. Like, you just throw it away and you don't want to worry about stick drift, even though you shouldn't worry, because these thumbsticks are Hall effect thumbsticks, and they will never ever have stick drift as a result. And the triggers, you probably guessed it because there's a million reviews out there, but these are analog Hall effect triggers. So this thing is basically future proof, especially considering that it doesn't have a battery. And this is very important. This means that there's no battery degradation over time. You can, for all intents and purposes, use this 5 years after the purchase, and there's still no variable that will make this age as time goes by. This can be a permanent accessory to your tech stack, no matter how many phones you replace down the line. Basically, each phone becomes a free handheld performance upgrade. But the Gamesir G8 Galileo is not just sunshine and roses, it has a few drawbacks. I don't know if you noticed, but both phones that I showed in this controller had cases on, and this is for a very good reason. One thing that you must know about me and my reviews is that I never bullshit you people. And look, you need to know about the actual problems that other reviewers for some reason on this planet don't talk about, because these will be the determining factor that makes you decide whether to buy a device like this or not. And I have no idea why Gamesir decided to market this controller as a controller which should be used with a caseless phone. Because if you have no case on your phone, this flexible USB-C port right here will get stuck in your phone's USB-C port so hard that you will feel like you're prying the phone out of this case. I legit thought I would either break my phone's USB-C port or the controller's USB-C port when I was caseless. But there's another asterisk here. You must always, without exception, have a very simple silicone case like this one. You can't have a Nilkin case, you can't have an extra protection, thick case, and you most certainly cannot have one of those cases with corner protection on. I'm saying this because any case thicker than a silicone case like this will make the USB-C not go deep enough and no actual contact will be made between these two devices. But if you have a thin silicone case like this one, then the USB-C port from the controller will simply slide into your phone's USB-C and there will be no problem connecting them. It just goes in so beautifully and so easily. When you stick it in, you don't even feel that there's a USB-C in your phone's USB-C port. It just slides in and you don't even know it's there. This actually reminds me a bit of my ex too. And again, not that I want to overpraise this controller, but this controller genuinely makes your device feel as a unitary handheld device and totally breaks the idea that you're just playing on your phone with a controller, because there's a lot of interoperability here. Once your phone is connected, you get to have pass-through charging, meaning that you can charge your phone. This controller is able to feed electricity right into your phone's battery, so you don't have to take it off to charge. And even if your phone doesn't have a 3.5mm headphone jack, well, this controller makes it so that you can use wired headphones now. For those who really want zero latency audio, this will be a game changer. I didn't actually cover this yet, but those spare thumbsticks that you saw in the box can very easily be replaced. These face plates are actually held in by magnets, and my first idea was like, magnets, okay, it sounds cool from a marketing perspective, but if I drop this, these face plates will fly right off, the controller will seem fragile. But I was so wrong with this. I swear to your deity of choice, they are the strongest magnets on the planet. I have to pry my nail in between the seams here and literally pull to take this off. And after the faceplate is off, you can just take the caps off and replace them with new caps, which I find very beautiful. It gives people a lot of options. People might like longer sticks, people might play a lot of GameCube and they want the original GameCube feeling thumbstick. And when you're done arranging your sticks as you want, you just plop this and let the magnets do the rest. So onto the price. This sits in a very interesting zone. It's not as expensive as a backbone controller or a Razer Kishi. It's around $65 depending on where you buy it from. I'll have links to this for both AliExpress and Amazon in the description. If you want to support this channel and you want to buy this controller, please use those links. They are affiliate links. You would help this channel quite a bit. I would buy a coffee and I would be able to make more videos. But at $65, you must understand that there are other options over there as well, like the BSP D8, which also has Hall effect thumbsticks and triggers, but this can also swallow up to a 10-inch tablet, which the Gamesir G8 Galileo can't officially do, but modding this controller is literally a 5-minute job. But in my opinion, I wouldn't do that because this controller feels solid as a rock. If you are to mod it for a tablet, then you would take away some of that sturdiness. I'm quite as shocked as you that I love this controller so much, especially given the fact that this can buy 3 of these. This is $25 and this is $65. Don't do the math on that one. Trust me, it's around 3 controllers. I'm a YouTuber, not a mathematician. Okay, cut me some slack. So, tell me what you think. Do you want to buy a controller like this? Do you think controllers like these make dedicated Android handhelds obsolete? Would you prefer a setup like this or a Retroid Pocket 4 Pro? Because in terms of ergonomics and comfort, this wins hands down. What is your opinion on this? This has totally, undoubtedly won me over. I'm this controller's faithful follower now. If this controller ever develops a voice and tells me to run for president because this controller wants to rule the world from the shadows with me as a figurehead puppet, then I would agree. That's how loyal I am to this controller. So let me hear your thoughts below. I'm genuinely curious where you guys stand on this. If you like the content that I do, please help me reach that 1000 subscriber mark. Right now I'm at 970 subscribers. I'm so close and yet so far. Let's reach that 1000 subscriber mark. And also, if you want to help this channel out, I would really love you to become a channel member, or you can also help me on Patreon, or you can leave a super thanks. Links to both of these are in the description, as well as links for this controller. And no matter in which way you do it, I would love you so very much from all my heart. You would become one of my favorite people, like literally. Last but not least, thanks Hunter. This guy is my first ever channel member. You really motivated me a lot and I thank you for that. So, my dear friends, see you in the next clip, and if you want to watch more of me, make sure to click on this clip right here. Until next time.